Hello, my name's Aaron Shaw. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Great to be here today. Kind of a slow news week. I assumed it might be because we got the Black Friday sales coming up and Thanksgiving coming up. So I thought there wouldn't be many new products released this week. But having said that, there is some news I want to talk about. A couple of things are important to me as well with the JBL stuff. And I have a few comments to go through as well today. And also some questions from Sunday's stream when I played the Rain Song guitar. I'll be talking about that as well. So welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please share this with a friend that's into music and music gear. I really would appreciate it. Getting very close now to 10,000 subscribers, and I'm really excited for that. I want to celebrate that when we reach that. So, without further ado, news for the week. First of all, the JBL systems that I've spoke about a lot on the channel have released another app update, and I think this is great. They are going ahead and making these updates as promised. You know, I've been thinking about doing a video on firmware for pedals for a long time, and I probably will do it one day. I'm always hopeful I won't need to make that video, because I don't like talking negatively on here. Not that it needs to be negative when I talk about that, but the fact is, a lot of gear now and a lot of products now are released and then corrected later on. And a few of those products have been worked upon recently. For example, the Eros Looper just received a new beta firmware with MIDI support. That's something I've been waiting on for a while. And the JBL has another update for the app, and it is more responsive. I'm happy to report the sliders now are more responsive than they were. And there's still a few little things that could be improved, to be fair, and a few features they could add to be improved to improve it as well. I'm confident that they will, because they've released yet more products recently that use that app. So that app is going to be using a lot of those features. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm just very hesitant lately to recommend gear on the channel that isn't fully ready, because how do I know it will be? And what I don't want to do is recommend you go out and buy something and then you come back to me in 6 months and say, it was never updated and I couldn't use it and I had to sell it. So I'm still waiting to get to the place where I feel that app is 100% rock solid. And of course, software is never really finished, is it? It's something that's ongoing. That's one of the problems here, and the good things as well. But I'm waiting for that to be in a place where I can really say, right, this is done. This is ready. Go and buy it right now. It's a great product, because it is a great product. The JBL stuff I've actually been using at my shows and it's been working out really well. But I just want to see that app where I fully endorse it before I say, go out and buy one for yourself. Marianne is here. Hi, Marianne. How's the UK today? How's the weather over there? It's getting really cold here. And along those lines, do humidify now. We spoke about it a few weeks ago on the Monday show. Now you really have to do it. You have to humidify. I'm talking in my situation here. I can feel my skin getting dry. So there you go. That means the guitars are getting dry. That means you want to humidify. Okay, it's that simple. If your body is not comfortable, your guitar's body is not comfortable either. That really is true. That really is true. You know, having said that, I saw some people talking on Facebook this week, and they made a few kind of comments that I thought were a bit dangerous. Someone said, you don't have to be careful when you ship a guitar opening the box. You don't have to humidify a guitar. In quotations, they said, my guitars are always fine. Well, that depends where you live, doesn't it? If you live somewhere where your climate is constant, then indeed you don't need to do that. So, of course, that makes sense. Where I am, where it gets really cold and the heat goes on really high, then I need to humidify. It's that simple. So be careful what you read online. Always judge things for your own situation. You may live somewhere where you never have to even think about humidity, and that's a great thing. But if you live somewhere where you do, then you should do it and take care of it, because if you don't, you're going to have problems with your instruments and your own health as well, for sure. There was another comment someone made along those lines on a forum that I thought was a bit, let's just say I didn't agree with it. But you often see that people will say, I'm trying to think what it was, but people will say on a forum or a Facebook page that their experience and that's how it is. And like I said, it's dangerous. Oh, that's right, tuners. Someone said they bought a Martin with tuners, and one of the tuners was kind of stiff. And I said, oh, that happened to me recently. I said, what you want to do is take a video of the exact problem, take photographs, really document the situation so the company knows that you're telling the truth, basically, right? They want to know that it's a real issue. They can see it's a real issue. Send them that evidence. Let them then see that. And then there's no way they can't then fix the problem for you, because they can see it's an actual problem. So that was my advice. But some people were saying, take it off, soak it in oil, return to the store. This shouldn't be a problem. Now, not saying that they're not good answers either. I'm not saying I don't disagree with those, but I definitely think there were some others as well that I've forgotten about. But I definitely thought in that situation, the best thing to do is to go straight to the person you bought it from and show them the problem. And that way you can get a resolution. Again, be careful of taking other people's advice because their situations may be different to yours. Okay. What else? Oh, the Oasis Blu-ray was finally released. So I didn't go and see the Oasis Nebworth documentary in the cinema. It was on here, but I was playing that night, I think. And it was only on for one or two nights. So I didn't get to go and see it. So they've just released it and I ordered it. Happy to say you can order the Oasis Nebworth documentary on Blu-ray in the USA. Sadly, you can't watch it on streaming. There is one channel where you can watch it on streaming, but I'm not subscribed to that channel. So I thought rather than subscribe to that channel just to watch the Blu-ray or the movie, I would just purchase the Blu-ray. So I purchased the Blu-ray. I think the shipping was around $17. I think it might come from the UK, which is a bit of a shame, but that's fine. So the cost of that Blu-ray DVD wasn't too bad, about $30, which is what I would have spent at the cinema on popcorn anyway. So that was fine. So yeah, just if you're looking for that, that's now available. I think in the UK, you might be able to watch it on streaming or purchase it online. I wish I could have bought it digitally. That would have been much easier, wouldn't it? But I couldn't. I guess they've got an exclusive deal over here with a certain channel to show it. And the only way I could get that is to purchase it online and have it shipped here. So I did that. So watch out for a review of that once I get to watch it. It feels so weird buying a Blu-ray because I don't buy Blu-rays or put discs in things anymore. I just buy downloads, you know. All right, so in other news, it's Black Friday. Like I said, Black Friday week is coming up. It looked like there wouldn't be many deals, but as the hours go by, there's more and more deals appearing. Apple just released their sales today, and there's more and more things showing up, and there's more and more cool things that I'm finding. So what I've decided to do is not talk about that too much today, but do a special show on Friday. So on Friday, you'll often see Francis in here from Padded Pedal Room. And he goes live Friday nights, and I sometimes watch him, and I thought to myself, I'd like to do that too. So I've invited him on with me on my channel. I think it'll be more fun to talk about the deals together. So I gave him a challenge. I said, find at least 5 products that you think are cool, that are on sale for Black Friday week. And I'll do the same, at least 5, the best ones you can find in your opinion. And we'll talk about them and discuss them and show them on Friday. So it'll be a very kind of informal, casual hangout. We will just go through some websites and find some great deals that are on for Black Friday. I realize that's 9 p.m. EST. It's too late for the UK, probably, unless you're Lee. It's probably too late for you. I'm just kidding, Lee. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter because we'll be focusing on the USA. So I don't think it'll really apply to people in the UK anyway. But if you want to check that out, you can always watch the replay the following day anyway. It'll be on replay. So check that out on Friday at 9 p.m. EST. That should be fun. And I'm looking forward personally to doing a later live stream as well, because my live streams are always so early, you know. I want to do a late night one. Okay, so let me have a drink from the Sandhole Sniffer, and then I'll tell you about the gear I used on Sunday. Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving. Sunday, I tried to do things differently. I did the concert. I tried to do things differently. I tried to just play songs more and not talk about the gear as much. So I did have a question, what gear was I using? So I think it's important to discuss that today as I'm talking today. So I used the guitar behind me, which is always there. You know why it's always there? Because it's carbon fiber. This is the Rain Song carbon guitar. It's always there because it won't be in trouble from the humidity or lack of humidity. So it's always hanging there, ready to go. It sounds great unplugged. It sounds great plugged in. It does have the Baggs Anthem Stage Pro. I'm a big fan of the Anthem, as you probably know. So I'm very happy that pickup is in there. And I really thought it sounded great on Sunday myself. If you want my opinion on this stuff, I thought it sounded great. I was using the in-ear monitors and streaming direct via Ecamm Live. By the way, Ecamm Live has a big sale on this weekend as well. I'll talk about that on Friday's show as well. If you want to get into live streaming, that's the time to subscribe because you get about 40% off. So if you're considering streaming, then definitely check that out on Friday as well. And that will apply, of course, outside the USA as well. I plugged that guitar into the TC Helicon Voice Live 3 Extreme. I haven't been using it lately. I've been using the Play Acoustic at my gigs. No, the Play Acoustic isn't a better pedal, but the Play Acoustic is a smaller pedal and it fits in my gig bag. So I like the Access gig bag. One day I'll make a video of all this, showing myself packing it for the gig. but the Access Gig Bag has a pocket on the side that fits the Play Acoustic perfectly, and that's the only reason that I use it. That's the simple reason I take it. I have to take the subway to those gigs. I don't want to be paying for taxis and things like that. So I take the subway, I take the guitar on my back, I either take the Rain Song or the Martin, that kind of body shape, so it's not too big, not too bulky. I use a Meridian Gig Bag, which is sadly discontinued. That's a great gig bag. And I put the pedal in the Access bag with all the pedal cables and mic that I need. And the Access bags are still available. It's not a cheap bag, but it's really great. And actually, a lot of gig bags now for gear are pretty expensive anyway. Like the mono ones, they're great, but they're not cheap. So I'm just reading the comments. So that's why I use the Play Acoustic. Now, the problem with the Play Acoustic is it's not that much lighter than the Voice Live 3 Extreme. It is cheaper. It's not that much lighter. It's much smaller. But you lose so many features. And I forgot what great features the Voice Live 3 Extreme has on Sunday when I used it. I forgot that it has more than one loop, which is great. Having the 2 or 3 loops going at the same time is so good. I forgot that it has things like when you loop the chords, it remembers the chords for the harmonies. You don't have to play the guitar. With the Play Acoustic, you have to be playing the chords underneath or it won't know what the chords are. These are real game changers. I forgot that it had backing tracks built in. I forgot a lot of things about the Voice Live 3 Extreme that really make it much better for performance than the Play Acoustic. It's simply, for me, a size thing. And if I had a roadie carrying my stuff to the gigs, I would take the Voice Live 3 Extreme without any question whatsoever. It's a much more featured pedal. It's much more fun to use as a solo performer. It's such an underrated pedal. It's such a great pedal, and I think it's so sad that TC are not really doing much with it anymore. Having said that, if you're looking for something like that, I still think it's a great purchase, especially if you can find a used one or a deal on a new one. Maybe you can find a deal over Black Friday. I'm not sure because they've got exclusive sellers now with Sweetwater and Thomann, so you might not. You might not, but we'll see. If I see them on sale, I'll let you know. That's a great pedal. So with the Play Acoustic and the Voice Live 3 Extreme, I'm really set up. I really am. So the Rain Song was into the Voice Live 3 Extreme. I just thought it sounded great. Again, I just want to offer up my opinion. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed playing. I enjoyed the creative options available to me. And what a great rig. You know, to have a guitar that's not, you haven't got to worry about it getting dried out or anything when you're playing a gig. To have a pedal that does that many things and such a small pedal. And it's so light as well. It's a really lightweight pedal. It's crazy. Like compared to something like a Helix or an FM9, it's so light and portable. It's even got a handle underneath where you can pick it up. It's a great product. So that's what I used on Sunday. If I missed anything, if you asked me the question on Sunday about the gear and I missed anything, do let me know in the comments below. I don't think I have. That is basically all it was. And that was going straight into my Apollo Twin. It was in stereo. I have to say, when you live stream, you want to go in stereo because the people, if they're wearing headphones, which they often are at home listening to you, will hear the stereo delays. And that's a really nice thing. When you're playing live at a bar, you're not really going to hear those stereo delays as much. But when people are listening at home on their stereo, or especially with headphones, they're going to hear those stereo delays. And that sounds great on a live stream. So yeah, I've got no complaints at all. Don't get me wrong. I still love going live with the microphones. That's really a different experience. But the creative options of the Voice Live 3 Extreme are so worth it to have the loops and the harmonies and the guitar effects and everything going on is a really great thing. And I really enjoyed Sunday's show. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my link to Reverb. It is an affiliate link. I'm going to drop that link in the chat. If you click on that, it will take you to all the different Rain Song guitars. And you can check them out for yourself. All right. So let me just see who's here. Marianne. JC, Jason from Texas. How you doing, Jason? Good to see you. How's Texas? I haven't been there yet. I hope to go one day. It's one of the only places I haven't made it to yet. I thought Sunday's sound was great too with the Rain Song. The rinsing. You mean the Rain Song? Yeah, it did. I thought it sounded great. Black Friday deals, but not music related. Dyson is splitting from Curry's, and Curry's are so upset they're clearing a Dyson hairdryer for £2. That's funny. They're selling it for £2, which is about $4. Yeah, there's a lot of this happening. You know, I use Band in the Box, and a friend of the channel, Peter Gregg, just bought it because he enjoyed the backing track. We're working on a Christmas song together. Should be out soon. In fact, I'll be working on that later this afternoon. We're working on a Christmas song, and I made the backing track with the latest Band in the Box. and he wanted to buy it. He was so impressed with the track, he wants to buy it for himself, which is great. And indeed, he has bought it already. So I went to send him my Sweetwater affiliate link, and it doesn't work anymore because Sweetwater don't sell Band in the Box anymore, and neither do Guitar Center. So it seems that Band in the Box are only selling direct now. I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, Band in the Box is often downloaded, so why not just sell the download from your own website and cut out the other companies, right? I guess when you have Sweetwater selling it and Thomann selling it, you also get the exposure they might bring to you. But I never saw them even do a video on it on their YouTube channel. So actually, I don't blame them for doing that. I think it'd be good if they had their own affiliate program as well, direct from their website. That'd be a cool idea, because then people like me and Peter would actively promote it on our YouTube channels for them. But anyway, it worked really well. He's now got it, and you'll hear that in the song that we release probably next week, probably the start of December. You'll hear the backing track that's generated by Band in the Box, and it's really, really, really cool stuff. So they've kind of split from them. It's interesting you said that. In the same way, TC Helicon now is only available at Sweetwater. So if you want to get a Voice i3 Extreme, you want to go to Thomann or Sweetwater, you can't just walk into a store anymore and buy those products. You have to buy them from those places. As a result of that, the price did go down though, which is a good thing. The price has dropped on those, but they're harder to find. Having said that, I love Thomann, I love Sweetwater. I buy most of my gear from those places, and I've teamed up with them for the affiliate links as well, because I do think they offer great customer service, and I think that's really important. And I just had a not so good customer service experience today with another company that I won't mention, not music related, by the way, but that customer service is so important. You want to be able to call someone up on the phone, get through to someone straight away, and have them resolve any issues. And Thomann and Sweetwater have always been excellent with the stuff that I've bought from them, and that's the truth. All right, let me go through a couple of comments I had this week on the app here, and I can tick them off as I go. So Paul says, hello there. This is about the NUX Optima Air. Great pedal, by the way. I'm going to be reviewing their acoustic amp soon. That's a really good amp. Thank you for the great review. You're welcome. I see that all the IR profiles that come by default with the Optima Air are for acoustic guitars with metal strings, such as Gibson, Taylor, and Martin. Do you think it's possible to have a clean IR that simulates a clear and high-quality nylon sound of a real classical guitar with the NUX Optima Air? Is it possible to do it with the Optima Air editor software and save the presets for the best nylon sounds? Thank you. All right, Paul. Oh, sorry, Paulo. Let me mark that as red. Paulo, so first of all, the NUX Optima Air is a great pedal. It's very affordable, and it's very good quality. And in my Ultimate IR shootout that I did recently, a few months ago, it did come out for me as one of the better options. I really do think it's a great product. So that's great. Let's break this down. The first thing I'll mention is the stock IRs. So the cool thing with this product is it comes with stock IRs. Something like the Tone Dexter or the Bag's voice print DI do not, right? You have to make your own. The thing with IRs I've found is usually 99% of the time, it's better to make your own. That is true. So I personally wouldn't use the stock IRs at all in the NUX. Having said that, I'm glad they're there because if you buy it and you don't have the ability or the facility to make your own IRs, if you don't own the interface and the microphones, it's great that they're there. You can use them. And like I said, occasionally they will work pretty well. So I'm glad that they're included. But I wouldn't pursue those as the thing to use. I would try to make my own. If it's possible, if you own an interface and a mic, I wouldn't hesitate. If you don't, if you can borrow them or rent them or go to a friend's house and use them. If you can make your own IR of your guitar, it's always better. With an acoustic guitar, you want the IR, the impulse response, to match the guitar and pickup that you're using, because that's exactly what it's doing. It's taking the pickup sound from your guitar and the microphone sound from the mic and making them fit. So if you think about it, if I make you an IR of my guitar and you apply that to your guitar, they're not going to fit. And that's when you get those weird sounds that drive me crazy. Even if we had the same guitar, it would likely fit closer, but even minute differences in the guitars would mean it won't fit as well. And this is certainly my experience. This isn't just like marketing from the companies that want you to make your own. This is true. Now, I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Are you saying you own a nylon guitar with a pickup and you want to make IRs of that? Or are you saying you want to take nylon IRs and apply them to a steel string guitar to make your steel string guitar sound like a nylon guitar? Well, if you own a nylon guitar with an undersaddle pickup, then yes, you can certainly do this. If you own a mic and if you own an interface, you can make IRs of nylon. You can make IRs of anything. Any steel string, any stringed instrument. So you could use the Optima Air with a violin, with a bass, with a guitar, nylon guitar. Some people might say the algorithms won't match as well. Maybe the Optima Air is more, pardon the pun, optimized for steel string. I'm not sure. I know with Tone Dexter you can download specific firmware for bass, but I think that's more for the EQ than the algorithm. So yeah, you can certainly make IRs of any instrument. So if you own, to cut that short, if you own a nylon string guitar with a pickup, you can make an IR yourself of that guitar and it should sound excellent. Okay, so that's that answer. If you're asking me if you can take an IR of a nylon guitar and use it with a acoustic steel string guitar and have yourself sound like you're playing a nylon guitar, I have to say, in my experience, no, not at all. Sadly, it doesn't really work that way. I'm actually going to have some videos on this coming up pretty soon, so watch out for those. But the thing is, yeah, the easy answer is no, not in my experience. You know, remember the Line 6 Variax guitars? That's using electric guitar strings on electric guitar, and that does simulate acoustic guitar sounds really well. They never did the nylon thing, which was interesting. In fact, a lot of companies haven't tried to do that. I think it's possible. Look at something like the Acoustasonic, where it simulates the different guitar bodies. I think it's possible. Let me just make it easy and say, in all the years of experience I've been doing with these IRs, it's not worth it. It doesn't sound very good. Even if you could do it, it doesn't sound very good. I've heard people simulate banjos and things, and on the online demos they sound okay, pretty good. But whenever I try these things in person, it just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to say no. But I tell you what, if you prove me wrong, if you find out a way to do it, if you speak to someone that can do it and you end up doing it, and that is what you're trying to do, I might be confused, then let me know in the comments below or on my email. Let me put my email on the screen, because I'm always happy to try new things. But so far, I wouldn't go down that rabbit hole. I would get a great guitar, a great pickup, great undersaddle pickup in your nylon guitar, get the Optima Air, and make a great IR of your guitar and your pickup and play that. But I get what you're saying, and I do hope that one day we're able to simulate other sounds from our guitars. Oh yeah, the Variax guitar does things like a sitar, and that sounds really authentic. I don't know what kind of magic they did in those Variax guitars like 12 years ago, but they were excellent. They did such a great job with those guitars. And again, like the TC pedal, I'm so sad they haven't updated them since. I would love to see a new Variax. The only thing is, with a new Variax, I guess they would use Yamaha guitars, which is okay, but I really like the James Tyler Variax collaboration they did. I mean, 2012 was such a great year for innovation in gear, and nowadays we don't see as much innovation, in my opinion. Okay, Teresita is here. Hello, happy Thanksgiving. Hux Raft is here. Branson, Missouri in the States checking in. Appreciate your channel. Thanks, Hux Raft. I appreciate you being here. Matthew Carver. Got some new names. Good, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. Checking in from Ohio. Got my Sandhole Sniffer shirt and mug. Excellent. Thank you for your support. Love the videos. Excellent. And Matthew, let me know what sort of videos you want to see in the future as well. Because I do kind of, do this a little bit with the videos, don't I? I do move around a little bit. So let me make sure you do tell me what kind of videos that you're interested in. Because I'll make more of those. That'd be a good idea. Joe says, hey Aaron, sorry, had to dip out to check on the hairdryers. Hairdryers? Oh, the Dyson from Currys in the UK is $2.99. Well, Patty Smith said they're £2. All right, be careful what you read as well. Sometimes these deals are not what they appear to be, right? You get that with cruise lines and things as well. They say, if you book on Black Friday, we'll give you all 5 special offers for free. We'll give you all this for free, all this for free, all this for free. And then once you go on the cruise and get the bill in the mail, you realize they've charged you all the taxes on top of everything, and you end up paying what you were going to pay anyway. So be careful with that stuff. No, Joe, it was on the news that they're so mad with Dyson they're almost giving them away. Are they giving them? Are they selling them for £2 or not? That's the question. Or is that just marketing? Because they say any marketing is good, so there we go. Dyson have won out here anyway, haven't they? They might be mad at Dyson, but we're talking about Dyson on a music show, so therefore Dyson can't fail. So let's stop talking about Dyson. It's not on the website. See, that could just be a big marketing thing. Oh, one more piece of news, by the way, that I saw during the week. I was watching the Taylor chat last night with Taylor's official chat show, and Andy Powers, speaking about IRs, Andy Powers was asked about pickups, and he said, we're not really working on the pickup because a pickup is a pickup. And I agree with that, right? He said a lot of companies will say, here's the new pickup system. It sounds really natural when they just all sound like pickups. I mean, that's a bit of a generalization, but I get his point. He's saying they're working more on the preamp. So I asked in the chat last night, are you working on IRs? I assume that means you're working on IRs for your preamp, but he didn't reply. But I assume that's what they're doing. But I still haven't yet found someone that makes an IR that I want to use live. I'm still just using the Anthem Direct. So we'll see. Hi Zane, good to see you. UK in the house tonight. No, I'm not looking up hair dryers. I'm not getting into that. I like Dyson vacuum cleaners. And that's about as far as it goes. And even those drive me crazy because the batteries die after 2 years, and you often have to buy a new battery or a new vacuum cleaner. So I'm not going to go down that route. Let me go to the next comment. So Paulo, I hope that answered your question. All right, on the Elite Acoustic Stomp Mix 4 review and demo, that was a while ago. Gary Clement says, could I put this at the end of my chain on an electric guitar stereo pedal board to sit right before going to front of house? Could I put the mixer base at the end of my electric guitar stereo pedal board to sit right before going to front of house? Well, Gary, you can. Oh, by the way, I should really put on here that I'll do it later. I should really say I answered this on the gear chat, so I won't say that I responded. You can certainly do that, but be wary. We're going back into IRs again. If you use a regular mixer after your pedal board to go to front of house, you're not going to have an amp simulator, and that's a problem. You want an amp simulation pedal of some kind. The Boss one is really good. They just released one. It's basically an amp and a cab. You want millions of them. You want something like the Iridium, Strymon Iridium. You want something like the HX Stomp with an amp and cab. You want something like a Head Rush with an amp and cab. You need an amp and cab sim. So I wouldn't recommend this pedal for what you're doing. I would recommend something like a Strymon Iridium. There's so many. If you look up amp and cab simulators, that new Boss one does sound really good. I would check that out. HX Stomp is always a great go-to because it's just a great jack of all trades. So HX Stomp is a great way to go. You can also use the delays and reverbs and that as well if you need them, and the tuner as well. So I would recommend the HX Stomp. Now I don't want to not recommend the Stomp Mix 4 because I did like it, but I recommend that more as what it says, a 4-channel mixer. So if you need a 4-channel mixer, check out the Stomp Mix 4. If you want to go to front of house from an electric guitar pedal board, you want to get a amp simulation and cab simulation pedal. So you want to check out the HX Stomp or similar, okay? So let me not favorite that. Okay. Another one about IRs. Who would have thought the IR thing would have been so popular? I'm glad I made all these videos because they've done well. How to tone match an electric guitar amp and improve your tone. So I used a tone match plugin to tone match an amp to the model of an amp to a real amp that I owned in that video. Larry says, good stuff, Aaron. I like your passion and content on IRs for acoustic. Well, thank you, Larry. You know, the thing is, it's a bit, like I said, I've actually I don't want to say I'm not doing it anymore. I took a step back because it is a total rabbit hole. And these days I'm looking for more products that just work. I want to plug into something, really be blown away by it, come on here and tell you all about it. I don't want to be having to tweak and find the secret code to making a piece of gear sound really good. I don't think we should have to do that. And I don't want to spend years of my life even doing that. So while I'm still going to talk about those things, I'm going to be more selective. I'm going to be harder to impress. All right? Because I've been through all that now. I know what I'm looking for now. I know now if someone sends me an IR loader and I load it in and play with it, I know what is good and what is not. From playing all the microphones, doing all the live streams, trying all the IRs, comparing them for days, I know now what I'm listening for. In the early days, I didn't. And someone told me in the industry, what happens with IRs on acoustic guitar is you hear that unprocessed, really dry, quacky pickup, and then you hear the IR on top of it at full blend, and the difference is so massive that you're impressed. But when you actually sit down for the application and really listen to the impulse response, that's when you realize actually there's a load of problems here. And that's what you find under the magnifying glass. And now I know what to look for those issues. I feel like now I'm in a good position to say, right, send me something, send me some recordings, I'll listen. Basically for me, I want it to sound like the microphone. If it doesn't, I'll just use the microphone or the pickup with a microphone, an actual real microphone. So I'm definitely getting a bit harder to impress these days, but I'm still interested in where it all goes. I just want to see more development. There hasn't been much news on that front for a while. Although the Taylor thing sounds interesting if they are indeed working on impulse responses. But they've got to be careful. They've got to do it right. If they don't get it right, then I wouldn't want that because it's going to eat more battery life as well. All right, I'll come back to the chat now because I've gone through a few of those questions. Okay, and thanks for purchasing the Soundhole Sniffer gear, by the way. Let me just put that in here in case someone else hasn't done it yet. They make great gifts for musicians and music fans. All right. Willem says, own hammer, best IRs on the planet. So my favorite, brought up the wrong comment. My favorite IRs are actually by York Audio, and I have no affiliation with them. I just tried them one day and they just sounded excellent. They really sound excellent. So check out those as well if you have a chance to. I always hear great things about Own Hammer. I really do. So that makes sense that you're saying that. I've tried a few and I haven't been impressed, but the ones that have really impressed me the most in the last year or two have been the York Audio. Everyone I've loaded in has really sounded great, especially with the Line 6 Helix. Sometimes I don't like those stock cabs in there, but whenever I load just an amp without a cab and load in the York Audio IR, it sounds excellent with no tweaking. So if you haven't tried those yet, do check out the York Audio IRs. And if you do, Willem, let me know what you think of them compared to the Own Hammer IRs. Zane says, my favorite is Ella Bag's Anthem. What do you think? I agree. It's one of my favorites, if not the favorite. Now, I don't think it's perfect because nothing in life is perfect, but no, I don't think it's the perfect solution, but I think they've got the closest to, especially for a third-party add-on pickup, they've got the closest in the way of like it's easy, it's super simple to install. It sounds really good on most guitars. It's affordable. They have great support, and it's using a real microphone, so you get a very realistic sound with the body sounds. All those things really tick the boxes for me. And I'll do more comments on that. I was going to do a video called What I've Learned After Reviewing Over 20 Guitar Pickups, acoustic guitar pickups. So I was going to do that, like the ultimate video. So I'll definitely do that. I think the Maton pickup system is great. The Cole Clark is great. The Acoustasonic is great. If you like those guitars, then that's a great way to go. If you have a guitar that you want to amplify, then the Bag's Anthem is a great way to go. Lee's here. How you doing, buddy? Willem says Kemper. Yeah, I don't have a Kemper anymore. So I'm going to be working on a video soon. I currently have the Line 6 Helix. I still have my Helix. I don't ever take it out because it's so big. I use the plugin called Helix Native whenever I'm recording. And I use the HX Stomp on my pedal board. As, again, a kind of jack of all trades, which is great. I have the Quad Cortex. I have my Quad Cortex again. And I have the Fractal. And I'm not going to keep both. I'm probably not going to keep all three of those. I'm gonna probably sell the Helix because I never use it. I use Native and the Stomp so much. I'm gonna keep either. I sold the Kemper. I'm gonna keep either the Quad Cortex or the FM9. That's what I'm going to do. So before I sell one of those two, I'm going to make a video comparison next week. So watch out for that. That should be a good video. I'm just going to sit down for the day, play with each of them, write down the pros and cons of each, and then talk about it in a video. Because it's such a hot topic right now. Everyone's trying out those two pedals, and you can't even buy them off the shelf right now. I think the FM9's actually now gone into next March or something. So I'm definitely going to make a video with them. That'll be a fun video and talk about the differences before I sell one of them. But yeah, watch out for that. Question, if I put an Anthem pickup into a cheap guitar and connect to an AER amp with Evidence audio cables, would I be able to buy... No, Joe. And also, if you put the Anthem pickup into the Dyson hairdryer, it still won't sound good. Okay, the pickup isn't that good. Hi, Lewis. How are you doing? I'm good, buddy. We back, baby. Can you record that and I'll play it as a sound effect? We back, baby. And I'll play it as a sound effect with loads of reverb and delay on it. That'd be cool. Oh, okay. My Boss Katana Amp does an amazing job. What do you think? Okay, I had one briefly. I made a review of it. I really liked it. I was actually thinking this week I'd like to try one again simply because everyone raves about them, everyone owns them, everyone uses them, and I keep trying the different power amps over the years and real cabs. And at the end of the day, the Katana 100 is an amp and a cab in one for a really cheap price comparatively. And what a great thing to take to a gig and just throw around at a gig. It's light, it's affordable, doesn't matter if you break it. Sounds really good, plugs in direct, gives you sound on stage. And the new Mark II version has that input in for a modeler. So we'll see. That's something I might do in the future, talk about the Katana 100. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that. If anyone's looking for something affordable that sounds great, I've got no problem recommending the Katanas at all. And I think the 100 Mark II is a great way to go. Yeah, hard to fault, but I'd have to play around with one a bit more in the future. Oh, the thing about the hairdryers was a scam. Okay, there we go. What did I say earlier? Don't believe everything you read online, right? Thanks, Lewis. All right, Joe strongly dislikes the Taylor ES system, all versions. So I want to know, Joe, why do you dislike it? What do you not like about it? Because I really want to get hold of one and review it as part of my pickup series. That's the one pickup I haven't really done yet. What do you not like about it? And bear in mind, there's been many iterations. The current one is the ES2, which is, I think, about revision 3 and has a little bit less output than the older one. Let me know why you say that. I find it very polarizing what people say about Taylor on the internet. Some people say it's the best thing ever, and some people say they don't like them, especially with the pickups. They're very, very polarized. Hi, Rosanna. Good to see you. Willem will try. Good. That would be a cool vid. Yeah, I think that'll get a lot of views as well. One of the reasons I'll make it, of course. Why wouldn't I? Especially as I've got them here. Might as well make the video. But yeah, they're hot. They're a hot topic right now. Greg says, my little brother... My little brother, Manny, says he tried to buy something off your website, doesn't know what to get. What should he get? If you're talking about Sandhole Sniffer, Greg, then you should get everything. Get them. My favorite thing is actually the mug. You see, I use this on every show. Sandhole Sniffer. And I just love that blurry background too. Yeah, the mug is my favorite thing. I wish there was a bigger mug on Teespring. I'd like to have a really big coffee mug. That's my favorite. This is a kind of a regular sized mug, but I really want to have one which is like oversized so I can get a really large cup of coffee. But they don't have those yet. Lewis says, buy all the gear. Lewis is terrible for this. He's always talking about what he's going to buy, but then he doesn't buy it. What he's doing is he's stirring up people like me. He's stirring the gas in people. Am I buying anything for Black Friday? We have to tune in on Friday, all right, at 9 o'clock. because, oh, actually, you might be watching Peter on Friday. Isn't that annoying now? We're all going live at the same time lately. Well, anyway, if I have nothing that I need or want to buy right now, especially new. I'm mostly looking at used stuff lately because I can use it on the channel and sell it on and get my money back. So I'm not really looking at anything myself, but I have found some really cool stuff that I'm going to talk about on Friday. So maybe, but probably not. I haven't seen anything that mind-blowing that I'm thinking I have to get that. I might order some strings or something like that. I know accessories that are on sale, something like that, but no actual gear. Did I ever review the Izotope Spire? I don't even know what that is. Let me have a look. Izotope Spire. Oh, it's the kind of interface that works with your phone and iPad, right? Record anywhere that inspiration strikes. You don't need to be an engineer to sound like a pro. Oh, let me jump over. Why am I not on the website when I do this? It'd make more sense, wouldn't it? Here we go. Oh, this looks cool. Look at that. So it's an app and you just add things to it and to the hardware and they show up on the app and you just move them around and it just kind of works, right? It just does it for you. So it's like easier to use than like an interface on your computer. Looks like you have to subscribe to the app. That's happening more and more. It's kind of annoying. Do not subscribe to something and then forget you subscribed, because that's annoying when you get charged without realizing it. I have never really heard or looked into this. I would like to. It's rechargeable as well. I might send them an email, see if they want me to review it. I would genuinely be interested in checking that out and making a video about it if it works well. Because I was thinking about this the other day, recording this song, this Christmas song. You know, you have to know how to do a lot of stuff, don't you? You have to know how to engineer and record and use the plugins. So something like this is a great idea because anyone can just plug in and make a track that sounds good. Now, why shouldn't we have like AI and things doing the work for us now? Why should we have to know how to use all the gear ourselves in 2021, almost 2022? So yeah, that's cool. Let me make a note of that. Izotope Spire. And yes, they do have a Black Friday sale. I want to add that to my note that I've got here. Hang on. Izotope Spire, because I'm going to forget otherwise. I have a terrible memory. Izotope Spire. Has anyone tried it? Let me know. Yep, I'll definitely reach out to them. Okay, very cool. Thank you for that one. Mark Henry, I've been thinking about this. Did I mention wanting to do a review of the Tone Master amp? Yeah, I did. And that day I actually played it. Because that day after Gear Chat, I went to Guitar Center. I know the manager there. And they had the two Tone Master amps. They had the Twin and they had the... There's more now. But they had the Twin and they had the Deluxe Reverb. And I plugged into them. You know what I plugged into them? I plugged in those new Player Plus guitars. It's the blue one with the humbucker. It sounded great. They're about $1,000. They're great guitars. I only had 10 minutes with it, but I thought it sounded great. I loved the guitar. Loved the amp. I only used it on a clean sound. That's not the best way to audition for me. I want to hear the drive sounds too. But I'm kind of tempted to ask Fender if they would lend them to me, or, figure something out that I could have them both here. But my plans, just to be upfront now, my plans at the moment are to catch up on reviews. I've got about 10 reviews I haven't done yet. I want to catch up on those reviews, get over 10,000 subs, and then move some stuff out, and then look at maybe doing Tone Master comparisons. But I'd have to do it in collaboration with someone like Fender. I can't buy 2 amps just to make one video. That's crazy, right? So I'd have to get them to like lend them to me or something like that, or a shop to work with me to do that and sponsor the video somehow. So yeah, I would like to try them. But what I found out in Guitar Center is I thought they sounded great. Now, I wasn't comparing them to the tube version. They didn't have them. But just on their own, because sometimes it's not fair to directly compare the gear, I feel. Even though it's a good way to find out, is it better? It's not always that fair. You know, does something, a good thing now for me is, does it sound good or not? And I thought they sounded really good. I thought the twin sounded really good. And that would be another video actually be good. But, I'm getting carried away. Another great video would be Tone Master versus real Fender tube amp versus Katana. So something like the Fender Twin versus the Tone Master Twin versus the Katana Twin. Can you imagine that video? That'd be great. I mentioned earlier about getting views. It's not only about, of course, I want to get views on videos that I sit and make all day long, but it's not just about that. I'm only going to make videos about stuff that I'm interested in. I am genuinely interested in comparing those three amplifiers. I really want to do it, but I can't buy them just to make the video. So I'll look into that. Maybe in the new year, once I've caught up on videos and things are ticking along, perhaps I'll reach out to some more companies and see if they want to do some sponsored videos. Because that's really the only way you can sustain that kind of stuff. Lewis says, ha ha ha. I have a Taylor Urban Ash GTE with the EXP2. Sounds great through a Bags DI session. There we go. And I just saw today, again, we're focusing on Black Friday on Friday with Padded Pedal Room, but I did see today, if you buy an Urban Ash guitar, you can buy a Baby Taylor for $100 only. I don't think I'd want a Baby Taylor even for $100, but that's another deal. You could buy the Baby Taylor and you could sell it on if you didn't like it, and then put that money towards the Urban Ash. Oh, it's getting exciting, isn't it? Do be careful Black Friday weekend. Only buy the stuff you need, right? It's a great time to look around and think, is there something I was going to buy? Is it on sale? Can I get a great deal? But don't buy stuff just because it's on sale. That's my advice. Lewis says, maybe I'll get the amp that you recommended me. I don't have an amp for my electric guitar. Well, we were just talking about that. The Katana 100 Mark II. Let me just find that on the website. Who's the store in Canada? It's Long & McQuaid, isn't it? I don't have an affiliate link with them. Katana 100 Mark II. Here we go. Let me just show it to you. And there is a thing here. This is what I would recommend. This would do a beginner. This would do a professional. This will work for acoustic. This will work for electric. It will amplify your sound. You can record with it. And it also has all the effects and sounds built in. And you can always add their pedal later on, which is this one, the GAFC. And then you have the ability to switch between sounds as well. And that would give you a complete professional rig for under $500, which that might sound like a lot of money to someone. Let's say someone's starting out and buying their first amp. You might find this is the only amp you ever need to buy. Again, I don't own one right now, but I have a lot of respect for it because everyone loves them. And the value is undeniably incredible. Imagine if you found this used in mint condition for like $250. I mean, you'd just be laughing all the way to the bank, right? So I would recommend this. And then if you do end up buying a tube amp or something in the future, this will be your backup practice amp. So you just can't beat it. That's the way to go. I love my Taylor guitar, but felt it was a step backwards when they started putting the ES in every guitar. The ES2 is a bit better, but all versions sound metallic and brittle. They take a great guitar and make them sound cheap. Now, I've heard recordings of them online where the direct recording sounds excellent. So I don't know, but I'd have to try it in person myself. So this is Padded Pedal Room. Good to see you here. This is Francis. We'll be going live Friday at 9 p.m. EST. So please join us. He'll be on the screen. And we're going to show a piece of gear that's on sale that day. And we're going to talk about it, our thoughts on it, and would we buy one. Very, very casual, but very fun. Session DI fixes most problems with acoustic pickups. Yeah, the Session DI is a great pedal. Is the Session DI... Let me just see which one that is. Because I'm getting confused here in my mind. Session DI. Oh, yes, that's right. I have one to review. That's one of those 10 videos that I mentioned just now. This is coming up pretty soon. This one here. Yeah. So it doesn't give you many options, but what it does is it applies kind of saturation EQ and compression to give you more of that kind of studio sound. It's a very subtle effect, but then again, some of the best effects for guitar, especially acoustic guitar, are subtle, right? And it's a DI as well and a mute switch. So I'm going to be reviewing this on the channel. Watch out, that's going to come up very soon. Very soon. Interesting pedal. I've heard mixed things about it, so I'll look forward to talking about it on my channel. You're right, I don't buy anything because I have everything that I need. It's fun. It's fun to look. You got to be a window shopper. You got to look and get the fun of all this stuff, but be very careful, because I find sometimes you buy something and then the fun goes away, and then the misery comes when you got to sell it and you lose half the money you spent on it. My tip is to buy used whenever you can. Always look out on the used market. If you see something listed as mint, perfect condition, and much cheaper, get it. Because if it goes horribly wrong, you can just sell it and get your money back. Or second to that, buy from somewhere with a great return policy like Sweetwater and Thomann. That's another reason I think they're great. Or I better throw Maury's Music in there as well. He has a good return policy too. I don't think he's watching, so that's fine. But, you know, make sure the store you buy from, and even smaller stores, they do have good return policies. There are some smaller stores that don't. They give you like a day to try a guitar. I don't think that's long enough. I understand why they do it, because I think a lot of people now are buying to return. And I just can't get behind that. I was watching a YouTube channel the other night. I think it was last night, actually. They talk about Apple, and I think it's a great channel. But he made a very brazen comment of, well, I just returned that MacBook Pro that I reviewed, and I just didn't think that was the way to go. So I don't want to watch them anymore. I don't know. I do feel like that. I would not buy something, review it, and then return it just for the review. If I wanted to review it that much, I'd either ask the company to send it to me, or I would buy a used one, or I would buy it and fund it myself, especially if I was a channel with 1 million subscribers or whatever, 500,000 subscribers. Surely that's what the money from the channel is for, isn't it? To invest back into the stuff you review. I don't know, it's just my opinion. But you do see that happening quite a lot. Not to say I haven't returned stuff. I've returned a lot of stuff, but only if I feel like the purchase wasn't worth it. So make sure you watch the videos, you get the opinions from people like myself that's used the stuff, and make a very informed decision, and then buy from somewhere with a great customer service and great return policy, which is what Sweetwater is. That's why I think Sweetwater are great. All right. Joe says, I think you play keys. If so, have you tried using the MainStage software? I have. I tried MainStage for a few days, and I started to tear my hair out, and I stopped using it. It's very frustrating to keep jumping between different software. It's like if you learn how to use a digital audio workstation or a DAW like Logic, and then you want to move to Pro Tools, that's a big shift, isn't it? It's a big change. I am into learning new software. I do it for reviews and even just for fun myself, but that was too much for me. I really wanted to try Ableton Live. I really wanted to use Ableton Live on a laptop at some gigs or for live streaming, but I could not get my head around it. It just drove me crazy. And I knew I want to take my laptop to a bar gig, so I didn't see the point in investing that much time in it. But even for the live streams, I thought it'd be great for that. Some people make that sound incredible, but I was so frustrated with it for so many days. I just thought it's not worth my effort. So if I was going to use MainStage as a piano player for a wedding band, I would sit down and learn it. But I'm not really playing piano in wedding bands. I may do it in the future, but I'm not doing that right now. So I haven't put the time into that. Prefer no extra holes myself, but needed an easy stage rig. What are you talking about there? Extra holes. Oh, the Taylor. Okay, the Taylor. Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing, isn't it, with the pickups, having the controls in the guitar. My thoughts is this. It's very easy to say, I don't play out, and therefore I don't want to see any holes or controls on my acoustic guitar because it's ugly. But think about the person that does play out, that's on stage with a sound engineer and needs to make adjustments to their guitar on the fly. they need those controls, and they can be I don't need them, but they can be incredibly useful. There's so many times I'm playing, even when I'm doing my own sound, where it's so incredibly useful to just reach down and turn the bass down or turn the volume up on the guitar. That's why I think there's a whole argument for stage guitars versus non-stage guitars, and even keeping them separate in sometimes. But yeah, I get it too. It kind of drives me crazy that Martin put the battery compartment in the Anthem guitars, because they don't need to, because the battery life in the Anthem is so incredible and really needs changing like once every year, maybe 6 months, but really a year for me, that I don't feel they need that battery compartment drilled into the end of the guitar. They could just use a battery pouch in the guitar, and then if you ever took the pickup out, you'd have no holes apart from the very small one under the saddle. So I don't know why they do that on those guitars. I guess some customers like the ability to quickly change the battery, but I don't think that's an issue because the battery life is so good. So I'm not saying I agree with any kind of holes in guitars. I like the guitars to look very, very natural, but like the guitar here has the big barn door electronics on the side, and on Sunday I actually turned the bass down, bass all the way up, treble all the way down for some strumming, and it sounded great, and it saved me having to get down there and change things on the gig. So I think there's arguments for both, but I think if you play out professionally, having the controls in the guitar is a great thing. Willem, okay, look, Willem has the Tone Master Deluxe. I love it. It's an awesome amp. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Most Fender stuff, everyone knows I'm a big Fender fan. Most Fender stuff always impresses me. And they also release a lot of cool stuff lately as well. They release interesting, they're traditional, but they also release some pretty interesting gear too, like the Acoustasonic. So that would be cool. Yeah, see, Lee's, that's what Lee says. I've tried several Taylors, but can't seem to gel with them. Yeah. Lewis says, the Katana is perfect for me. Thank you so much. Don't want to buy a $100 amp only for it to break or having to buy another one. Buy nice or buy twice. I always say that. Buy nice or buy twice. That is important as well. Thank you, Lewis. I would start watching them too. What an odd comment to make. Yeah, it's almost become the norm now for YouTubers to openly just say, oh, Apple released a new computer and I bought it and reviewed it and returned it. It's almost, and some people almost kind of laugh about it like, well, Apple have so much money, that's fine. It could just be my age. I don't think that's that cool, because at the end of the day, your review is making you money. So why should you make that review, make money and just return? I don't know. On the other hand, should Apple pay the YouTuber to make the video for them since they're giving them publicity? Because I also believe in that as well. So that's a really tough call, but I don't. And maybe it's good that they were that transparent that they returned it, because for the viewer, that shows to them that they didn't keep it. So maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I think it's more. Yeah, it's more. I don't know. I don't know why I felt like that, but there's definitely this stuff is very difficult, isn't it? In an ideal world, we make money from the channel, from the ads. We make money from subscribers and donations, and we put that money back into the channel. And we buy gear, and we have no connection with the company at all. And we say, right, I just bought this. iPad myself with the money from the channel. Oh, I like that. Look, that kind of mirrored effect. I just bought this with the money from the channel. And it's great, and you should buy one too. You know that's the truth, because they spent their money on it, and especially if they still have it on the channel 3 months later, you know they love it and it's working for them. The problem is if you review something and you never see it on that channel again and they sold it on, well, what does that really say about the product? Now, it doesn't mean it's a bad product. Maybe they just don't need it, right? There's things that I think are good, but I just don't need to have them here. So I would sell it to get the money back for something else, or to pay bills. So that's fine. But in an ideal world, of course, that is exactly what would happen. So I would go out tomorrow and I'd buy 2 Tone Master Twins and 2 Fender amps, and I'd spend $4,000, and I'd have all the amps here, and I'd set a microphone up, and I'd sit here and play them all. I'd go live with them all, and then I would say to you, right, I'm going to keep this one, or I don't like any of them, or I like all of them, or I like these 2. And then I would sell them on. And of course, that would be the ideal situation. But to do that, you would obviously be broke. But then again, if you had 1 million subscribers and every subscriber gave you $1 a month, you'd have $1 million. And you could do things like that. That would be really cool. I think some channels do that. I think that's the way really to do things. Oh, that was a rant, wasn't it? I didn't mean to say that, but there we go. I wanted to just clarify what I was saying about the other channel that returned the computer. Yeah, I don't know. Now I think about it, maybe it's not so bad, but when I first heard it, I thought it was a bit kind of weird thing to say. I used your image and likeness without consent. If I ever make channel money, you're welcome to some errand. Well, thank you, Poo Ninja. I appreciate it. So that's why people keep telling me they see me on pooninja.com, because you're using my likeness. Darn it. Poo Ninja, we're going live. I'm going to do my first collaboration with Francis on Friday, 9 o'clock EST. I'm not sure where in the world you are, but if you're up. Actually, Poo Ninja never sleeps because there's more than one Poo Ninja. So the late night Poo Ninja, please join us on Friday. 1 million a month after tax is still nice. Oh, that's a good point. They're going to tax that money, aren't they? And YouTube will take their cut as well. So you might end up with a few $100,000. That's still enough money to buy a Tone Master, though. The Tone Master isn't that expensive. I do think it's amazing how everyone's talking about those amps. The Katana, people talk about all the time because they see them on everyone's channels, and also they're very affordable. The Tone Master, oh, again, I mean, I guess compared to a lot of tube amps, I mean, check out this one. This is the Twin. I've always wanted to own a Twin, and this is the Tone Master Twin. So it's under $1,000. That's brand new. And, oh, that's the other one you just mentioned, the blonde one. Oh, I haven't seen that. You're paying more for that one, I guess, because of the color. But yeah, I would get the black one. Look, it's got a built-in kickback stand. It's 200 watts. It's got two 12-inch speakers. A real Twin, for me, is one of the best amps in the world. That thing weighs about, what is it, 60 pounds? That's too heavy for me. This one weighs half the weight. But remember, it's not a tube Twin. So it's not like, oh, it's the same thing, but half the weight. It's not. It's digital. But all that digital power has gone into just making it sound as close to an actual Twin as possible. And that's a really cool thing. So that you've got the two speakers. So it has that big sound, so a twin cabinet. It's got a direct out. The reverb and the tremolo sounded excellent in Guitar Center when I tried it. It sounded really good. That's the stands. You can lean it back at the gig. So, of course, there's no distortion or anything. You'd have to do that yourself. But if you've got a pedal board with some great pedals on it, you could run that into the front of this, and take it to your gig and really rock out. And if you don't want something that big, then you can get the deluxe reverb, which is much more manageable. Where's that gone? Tone Master. I think the deluxe is probably the most popular, isn't it? Because it's cheaper, and it's smaller, even smaller and even lighter. Here we go. This is in stock right now. $8.99, brand new. Again, get it used, save even more money. Or get it from Sweetwater. Use my link, of course. £23. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? That's great. If you're a gigging musician and you have a pedal board, you need an amp to plug into, this is £23. It's crazy. It's so light. And it's 100 watt, 112. It's a real speaker. You're going to hear it. It's got a direct out. This is the way to go if you want ultimate portability. But I did notice that the Twin sounded much fuller in the room, and I think that's a nice thing. But yes, it's heavier and it's more expensive and everything else. At £23, I mean, that's just like a gigging dream for a lot of people. And then you have the XLR output with the IRs that go straight to front of house, and apparently those IRs are really good. The only thing they didn't do on this, which I thought was a shame, is they didn't allow you a way to plug in like a Helix or a Quad Cortex directly. Imagine if you could use this as an amplifier for your Quad Cortex. That way on the stage, you could have your super modern pedal, looks, touch screen and everything. But behind you, to the audience, it looks like you've got a Fender behind you, the Fender Deluxe Reverb. That would be really cool. They didn't do that. They didn't allow the option to plug in. You'd have to plug into the front of the amp. There's no effects loop. I think an effects loop on this thing would have made it killer. I can see people using a Kemper, but playing through this to get that old school look. I don't know why they didn't do it. Maybe they'll do it on the next version. We'll have to all buy them again. That could be possible. Okay, there's only one Poo Ninja, but I rarely sleep. That makes sense then. Not only looks, also driver is different. Blonde has the creamback G12 Neo, and I can tell you these things are 90% the tube version. Okay. The thing for me is a lot of these cleans sound right the same, the same as the tube version, but it's the drive. Like the Line 6 power cab running drive sounds through that sounded terrible. Through the emulations, speaker emulations, sounded horrible to me. And it often does with the solid state. So I want to try that. So the blonde one, so is that even lighter then? Celestion, yeah, Celestion. What was that weigh? Yeah, 20. So that's 23 pounds as well, but different speaker. Okay. Okay, and as we know, speakers make a huge difference in amps. The speaker is literally the voice of the amp, and it can really make a huge difference in bass and mid and treble tone. So that's very important. Yeah, it's a neodymium speaker. That's why it's so light. So what would you get with them? Would you get the twin or would you get the deluxe reverb? In fact, everyone in the chat, what would you get? Would you get the twin or deluxe reverb? Bearing in mind the twin is 10 pounds heavier, which isn't bad. It's still very light at 33 pounds, but it's much bulkier. Which one would you get? Some people think that the 212s are too much and the 112 is actually more of a punchier sound and plenty enough. But I don't know, there's something about a 212 for me that just has that huge, massive sound, which is great. The blonde takes pedals. So why is that? Is that because does the blonde take the pedals better because it's not as bright? Because with some bright amps, they don't take drive pedals so well. But having said that, I do like a bright sounding amp. So Matthew Carver says you get the twin. There you go. Give me a quick vote. Would you get the twin or would you get the deluxe reverb? We're probably going to get 50-50 on that. Vic G says, do you think Sweetwater will turn into another Guitar Center with their recent investor backing? I don't know. How can we predict anything like that? That's everyone's fear, isn't it? When a company loses the CEO or gets bought up by another company, every gear fans or whatever you're into, the fear is always, oh my God, that's it. It's all over. I haven't seen evidence of that. So far, Sweetwater are ticking along nicely. They're doing great. Why would they change anything when they're doing that well, right? Why would they change anything? It's a bit like Martin. I mean, we have to face the fact that all the CEOs of all these sort of legacy companies are getting older. They want to retire, move on. That has to happen at some point, but none of us like change. Well, I don't like change, right? I didn't want Chris Martin to leave Martin. I don't want, Lloyd Baggs to not work at LR Baggs. No, I'm not saying he isn't, but I don't want that to ever happen. I don't want the change to ever happen. I'm happy with how things are. But of course, things will have to change. Things will have to move on. And I have seen some negative things happen with that. Guitar Center, I don't know. For me, Guitar Center is all about the Guitar Center you go into. It's all about the employees. I've been to Guitar Centers that are fantastic. There was one in Nashville I went to, not the main one, but they were great service. They couldn't do it. There's nothing they wouldn't do. They were friendly. They're professional. Excellent. And I've been to some where they've spoke to me like I'm a piece of dirt on the floor. So that's really about the place. It's almost like a franchise in a way, isn't it? Depends who works in there. So I think that's different. I don't know. I just wish them all the best because I think Sweetwater and those companies are great. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I hope it stays the same because I think they've got a great business model. They do things right. Okay, right. So Matthew Carter says the twin. Mark Henry says the deluxe reverb. Willem says I have the deluxe already, but I got it for a great deal second hand and it was still in wrap basically. And Gonkar says the twin. So unfortunately we have a 50-50 split. Yeah, there's not really a better with the twin and with the 112 and the 212 Fenders. It's like the 212 has that bigger sound, but the 112 has the punchier sound. The 112 is 100 cheaper. the twin is 100 more, the twin is 10 pounds heavier, it's very, very, actually, one reason I do like the 112, the reason I like the twin is because it has a mid control. That's right. That's something that I noticed on the Deluxe. There's no mid control, and I do have a problem sometimes on the 120 Princeton that I have too. I have two of them. I have the Princeton. With the Princeton, there's no mid control. That's something I like about the twin. It has a mid control. And I find that some pickups through my Princeton sound really dull and boxy, and some of the Fender pickups don't because they have that sparkle on top. So I feel like a mid control on my Princeton would be really beneficial. Now, yes, you can run an EQ pedal into it and basically have the same thing. I totally get that. But I'm thinking about someone that wants to just plug and play. With the Princeton, it'd be great to have the mid control. The Deluxe Reverb does not have the mid control. So one reason I would probably want the Fender Twin is for the mid control. And it does have a mid control on it. Let me just show you. See, it's much more flexible. You've got a bright switch, a treble, a middle, a bass, a reverb, and then your tremolo. So for that reason alone, I think I'd go for the twin. Plus, it's such a beast with the two speakers in it. So it just takes up more space in the car. That's the only problem. Yeah, what do you think about that? I think for that reason, I'd want that. Now, has anyone compared the actual Tone Master to the actual amp? That's what I want to know. Some channels have done it, and I've got to admit, on some of those, when I've heard the drive, the distortion through it, it didn't sound as good on the Tone Master. But look, a real twin, I always say that, a tube twin, right, is $800 more. Same controls, as you can see. It looks the same, right? It looks the same. I think on the Tone Master amp, you can remove the Tone Master logo. Yeah, am I right about that? Am I wrong? I think you can, so it looks just like a twin. I might be wrong, but anyway, so it looks the same, doesn't it? Exactly the same, but it's $800 more. That's a lot of money more to spend, and you've got to maintain the tubes in it, and it weighs. This is always the problem with these amps. 64 pounds. I was wrong. It's 64 pounds. I probably couldn't even. I could lift it. I couldn't take it very far. So 64 pounds, and there's no line out, so you've still got to take a mic to put in front of it as well if you want to go into the PA or record late at night. So the Deluxe Reverb is much lighter anyway. The tube version is much lighter anyway, and cheaper obviously. So for me, the Tone Master Twin is the one that appeals because it is much cheaper and much lighter than the real thing. But it'd be really cool to compare the real Twin to the Tone Master amp version of it. I think that would be the video I'd like to do. Real Twin versus Tone Master Twin, maybe versus Katana Twin. I don't know about that, but I think the Fenders are interesting. The Katana Twin does have a line input for your modeler, which is cool. Matthew says, Sweetwater's always been great for me, and I agree on guitar centers. It depends on how the manager is. Exactly. So the one near me is great because I know the managers there and they're really cool. And some of the ones I've been into have been great. I went into one, I won't tell you which one, but I went into one a few years ago and I basically said, oh, I'm interested in this guitar. I like this guitar. Can you do me a deal on it if I buy today? Which I always ask, why wouldn't you ask, right? And the sales guy was like, yeah, of course. I'll grab the manager and we'll see what we can do. Fantastic. Everything was great. Everything was going great. And then the manager comes. He's a new manager. I hadn't seen him before. And he just comes to the desk and says, right, what are we doing today? And I said, well, I was just explaining. I like this guitar and I'm interested in making a purchase. And the sales guy was saying that perhaps I can get a deal on it if I purchase today. And the manager just looked at me and said, why would I do that? Why would I do that? He said, why the price is whatever it was. The price is $199.99. So what's wrong with the guitar? I said, well, nothing's wrong with the guitar. I quite like it, actually. Oh, so why am I giving you a discount then? Hey, you know what? That's fine. If you wanted to hire me for a gig, I wouldn't give you a discount, right? It's fine. I just feel like in when you're the customer, and if you ask for something, it should be allowed that it should be okay that you ask for it if you're polite about it. You know, can you do me something today? If I buy it right now, can we do something? I think it's fine for them to say, unfortunately, I can't do anything for you because I'm not given that authorization, and we can't do that right now. That would have been absolutely fine. Maybe I would have bought it. But with that kind of attitude, I'm just like, no, if you're going to be like that, I'm not going to buy it. Willem says, note that the twin is still loud AF. I know what that means. And they still sound best with attenuator. Oh, yes, has the attenuator as well. Don't forget that. So you're getting the attenuator, you're getting the line out. So you get a lot for your money. You can still play much lower volume than the tube version, but still that's the reason I went with the Deluxe 112. Right. The guitar is fine. My wallet's already very dented. Oh, dear me. Dear me. But yeah, the other great thing with the Katanas and the Tone Masters is they're so popular, and the Boss and the Fender gear keeps its value well and is very popular. So a lot of people buy them, and then they often sell them. So you can find on Reverb very often someone that bought one and just decided maybe they bought the twin and need the deluxe and will sell it. So I'm just looking on there right now to see if I've got any proof of what I'm saying. But with items like that, you're going to find something that someone's just bought and thought, you know what, I want the deluxe, and it's too late to return it, and they're going to sell it, and then no one buys it and the price goes down. And that's when you can get a really great deal on those. With the more boutique gear, you often just can't find it, right? So something like a Katana, you're going to find a Katana that someone got in a sale and then selling it on because they don't need it anymore and they're moving house or whatever, and you get a great price on it. So that's worth bearing in mind as well. Like I said, I contradicted myself and said that it keeps its value. Well, it does. I'm looking right now on Reverb. Let me show you. Look, mint $9.50. So you're not really saving anything. $9.99 mint. See, used, excellent condition, $800. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. But then you don't forget you got to pay the tax and maybe the shipping as well. Here's one, excellent condition, $700. That's good. I'm trying to find the best deal I can. You see, they're not going to give them away because they know they're popular. At the same time, there's so many out there in the world that there's going to be more available, potentially. And look other places as well. Don't just look on Reverb. Reverb is great, but also make sure you look on forums and things like that. Of course, there's a risk there because you don't have the protection. I once sold an amp on Reverb. The bias that it got broken, and Reverb, because I had the insurance and shipping through Reverb, they just paid the person off to have it repaired. That was great. Yeah, so also look out for any Black Friday deals as well. But I was hoping I'd find something here like mint for $700 or $650, but I don't think anyone's going to sell it that cheap. And they've also got they're going to have to ship it to you as well. The one that was $800, let's just see, was that free shipping? You see, that's the problem. That's local pickup only. So that's not going to work. All right. That was good. That was a good chat. That was a good chat. So remember, I'm going live Friday to talk more about gear and talk about the Black Friday sales. So on Friday, probably talk about this stuff more. On Friday, I'll look out for some deals on this stuff we've mentioned today as well. That'll tie in nicely. See, Willem did exactly what I'm saying. Paid €650 and it's basically brand new. That's how you do it. So I'll give you a round of applause for that. Very, very good. Very good job. Good job there. And if you want to sell it, and give Poo Ninja a call, because he'll give you €350 for it. Just kidding. All right, great show today. Not much to report, but I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please join me Friday if you can, 9 p.m. EST with Francis to talk about Black Friday deals. I'm gonna have some good ones for you. I've got some good ones I'm holding back. I'm gonna tell you about them on Friday. And I know that Poo Ninja is going to like some of them because I know what he likes. I know what they like. Oh, no, Poo Ninja is a he. That's right. So make sure you subscribe, ring the bell. It'll tell you whenever I go live or post a new video. Matthew Carver says, have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Looking forward to Friday. Great, yeah. Tell your friends. I think this will be fun. We're going to have a fun time, especially with Francis from Padded Pedarum here as well. It's nice when you have someone else on the camera to talk as well. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Look forward to Friday. Cool, yep. I'll see you soon. Subscribe, ring the bell. Look out for future videos coming real soon. Enjoy. I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.
I'm not lost, but I'm not found.